New tonight, for the very first time in more than a week, we're happy to report less than 100,000 CenterPoint customers are without power. The utility company saying it's on track to get 98% of its customers power back on by the end of the day tomorrow. Of course, the news comes as we learned about 5 more storm-related deaths this afternoon, 3 of them heat-related.
And tonight the number is expected to grow after a woman died near the museum district in a sweltering condo. That complex is part of an isolated power outage where many residents felt forgotten while power all around them was restored. Jason Miles is live there tonight with the very emotional story. Jason.
Hey there, guys. Yeah, we happen to be here today interviewing folks about losing power over the last week or so and living without it in this sweltering heat. That's when our story about a power outage became something much bigger.
Debris from Hurricane Beryl lines the street outside this 60s-era condo complex, surrounded these days by big, nice, newer homes like this. But it's the sweltering misery inside that was more difficult to capture today.
It's dangerous, needless to say.
As we interviewed resident Chesley Crone just before noon,
What address are you looking for?
Houston Fire showed up along with an EMS crew, rushing to an upstairs unit where saving a life was no longer an option. Like a few others here, I'm told the woman, who was not terribly old but did have health issues, stuck it out over the last week in sweltering heat.
She's renting from my daughter, so I came to check on her and she didn't answer. So therefore, I unlocked the door and found her. You know, it's just been hot and miserable. And I'm just sick of this, I'm just sick of it.
Emotional neighbors wish they could have done more, but hopeful their story has an impact.
It makes me sad. I mean, it makes me sad that she was up there in the heat like that.
I'm told CenterPoint contractors showed up at least twice in as many days. These crews arriving after repeated calls from neighbors and an email from us. The property manager reporting to me late this afternoon that the power was finally back on. At the end of a very trying day.
So the power restored hours after this lady's body discovered inside her unit. Her identity not confirmed at this hour. Neighbors tell me her adult children live out of state. Meanwhile, a bit of good news to pass along. A couple who lives in one of the big houses next to this condo complex, they happen to be out of state this week, but they shared their security code with some residents of the condos, in particular a couple with newborn babies, allowing them to come inside to get a relief from this heat. Mia?
True neighbors helping neighbors. You know, I just want to remark, this is such a difficult ordeal. We know this had to be hard for you too. Thank you for your compassion you showed in reporting today. Okay, I do understand though you have some more encouraging news to share now about some other nested outages.
That's right. You may recall 1 week ago tonight, I interviewed a 94-year-old retired NASA engineer over in the Braeswood Hillcroft area. They've been without power this entire time. His name is Jerry Bell. He lives there with his disabled elderly wife, their adult daughter. The adult daughter texting me late this afternoon saying finally their power back on as well, and they are among those areas known as nested outages, where you have a cluster of homes, maybe a couple of dozen homes, without power for some reason because of some fix that takes something more than the normal fix. But again, their power back on as of tonight. Mia?
All right, you stay on that nested outages beat because it is working, getting people the help they need. Jason Miles tonight doing his part. Thank you. You know, dealing with this aftermath and even hearing these tragic stories, we know it can be hard to handle. We want you to know there is help available. You can speak with certified counselors by calling the Disaster Distress Helpline. That number, 1-800-985-5990. We are here for you. And just a reminder, folks, we will all get through this together.